Am I the asshole for making my eldest do the laundry after causing the youngest to poo herself? My eldest daughter, 17 female, was cleaning the bathroom yesterday because it was her turn to do it this week, when my youngest, 14 female, who has Crohn's disease, said she needed to use the toilet. Eldest asked her what she needed to do, youngest responded with number 2. Eldest refused to let her use the bathroom until she was done cleaning, and as a result, youngest ended up pooing herself. This is not the first time something like this has happened, and I've explained to my eldest time and time again that unless someone is actively on the toilet, if the youngest needs to go, she needs to go and to drop whatever activity is taking place in there at the time. I made her do the laundry after this, and she was throwing a tantrum about it. When my husband got home from work, he said I'm cruel and being an asshole and should have just found a different punishment. Am I the asshole? I mean, it's not like doing the laundry in this case meant she'd be covered head to toe in shit. You throw that in on its own, maybe run an extra wash, and it should come out pretty easy, right? Your daughter is old enough to realize the consequences to her actions, and to understand that diseases like Crohn's aren't really something to fuck around with. If this has even been explained to her, countless times as you say, I get why you wanted to give her a bit of a harsher punishment. I feel doing the shit-covered laundry is well within reason of this. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Your eldest is being cruel. How the hell can she not get that when people can't wait to use the bathroom, nothing else matters? Does she bully the kid in other ways? Logical punishment. I would question your husband why he thinks it's more cruel to punish your eldest daughter to literally clean the shit she caused than your eldest daughter causing your youngest the mess, the humiliation and the embarrassment of shitting herself. I would poke in a wound that he prefers the eldest since she is normal, especially if he calls you out quite often over the harsh punishment you give your eldest. Not the asshole. Actions have consequences. Cleaning is interruptible, but a call from nature is not. Not the asshole. Doing the laundry was not a punishment, it's called taking suitable responsibility for the outcome of her decisions. That is life. Good on you for teaching her that lesson, it's a major one. Side thought. Only you know if it is a pattern of behavior for your older daughter to manipulate her dad into taking her side and pitting you against each other. Just something you may wish to consider if it needs addressing. Not the asshole, but if there is only one bathroom available, is there no standby arrangement for the 14-year-old? I have a family member with Crohn's who keeps an emergency bucket tucked away in their bedroom. I don't think they've ever had to use it since they live alone, but they know it's there if an urgent situation arises in the night or if a visitor is in the bathroom. I know the prospect of a bucket doesn't do a lot for one's dignity, but nor do shitty jogging pants. Siblings without disabilities or conditions often feel they are put second to their siblings with disabilities or conditions. This seems like more like unresolved issues versus intentional cruelty. Not the asshole, but I'd try to get to the bottom of this before your oldest is out of reach. Not the asshole. She's 17, she should know actions have consequences by now. I think it's a very appropriate punishment. Stopping cleaning for 10 minutes while her sister used the toilet shouldn't have been too hard to do. Info. Would eldest daughter still be cleaning the bathroom toilet after youngest finishes? Would she be punished if she didn't finish cleaning it right away? I can see her reluctance for having to continue cleaning right after someone finishes dropping the kids off at the pool. But then again, a bunch of matches and candles would mitigate the smell. I have Crohn's, and my siblings have told me that there's a pretty noticeable difference between my poops or anyone else's poops, to the point that they can tell it was specifically me who used the washroom last. Not the asshole. Your eldest is 17, not 5. She should be able to understand when a person needs to go, they need to go. What did she expect when rejecting your younger daughter the bathroom? You're not the asshole, and hopefully your eldest now understands how much it sucks for your younger daughter to be denied a necessity. Not the asshole. When my youngest was 9, she kept leaving her dirty washing on the floor. Her punishment was doing all the washing for a week and then her own for 3 months. Your 17-year-old made her sister poop herself. That takes a special kind of awe. She needs a lot more punishing than doing a load of laundry. Not the asshole. That is a logical punishment. Not the asshole. Don't do the crime, if you can't do the time. Does your eldest have any other compulsions? This could be asshole behavior, or it could be a compulsion that forces your eldest to panic or mentally block if she can't finish something she started, in which case she needs help. Either way, not the asshole. Laundry is barely a punishment for forcing someone to shit themselves. Not the asshole. What could be a more natural consequence? Info. Do you have more than one toilet in your house? Edit. Added judgment. Not the asshole. Info. Would the older daughter have needed to clean the washroom immediately after her sister used it? Not the asshole. Yikes, sounds like your oldest is a bully. I'm going to say not the asshole because your older is 17, not like she's a child anymore and she is fully capable of understanding exactly what the condition is and what it does to her sister and her body. Clearly not the asshole. You explained it several times to her and obviously she likes to bully your youngest. So right punishment. Not the asshole. I have IBSD and I feel your younger daughter's pain. Info. Does the younger one also do similar chores like eldest, and does the eldest have to make any accommodations for the youngest? Soft. You are the asshole, because if I was your youngest I would be humiliated about my sibling doing my laundry in that situation. So I don't think you're the asshole. Go your oldest, but your youngest for sure. Nah. She was just trying to clean the bathroom. Not the asshole. She is 17, not a baby. She was cruel on purpose and your hubby should not be so okay with this. It's a punishment fit for the crime. She is an adult in 1 year and she should know by now for quite some years that actions have consequences. This should be brought up to your hubby as well. Or is he going to bail her out every time she does something stupid? Our 14-year-old should not face the consequences for having an sister. My roommate has Crohn's. It's nothing to fuck with, especially when it's time to go. Honestly, if your daughter were posting and she were up for it, I'd tell her to just plop on the toilet when she needs to, whether or not the 17-year-old vacates. I know the smell. She can either GTFO, or allow the natural consequence of smelling the smell to be her punishment. Since that's not what happened, doing the laundry is not only fair, but the closest thing to justice. She can be grateful her sister didn't take karma into her own hands, and pop a squat in the 17-year's room or bed. 17-year can choose. Be a jerk and you punish her, be a jerk and let the one with a bowel disease take matters into her own hands, or just not be a jerk. Edit. Not the asshole. You are the asshole, solely for making your child wash poop off you other child's clothing. I totally agree that she needed a punishment, but your choice of punishment is disgusting. Not the asshole. The 17-year-old shouldn't have to be told so many times. There are medical conditions which mean some people physically cannot hold it for the convenience of those around them. If this has happened multiple times before, imagine the anxiety the 14-year-old might be developing around her bodily functions if even in her own home she can't take care of her personal needs. The husband wasn't there and didn't have to see your younger one suffering at the hands of her sister. Remind him of that. What the elder sister did was neglectful, careless and cruel. All she had to do was literally nothing and step out for a few minutes. Not the asshole. You're showing your eldest that their actions have consequences. Your youngest was probably humiliated. It was a cruel thing for them to do. The punishment fit. I have Crohn's myself and it's such a shitty disease. You are not the asshole. Actions have consequences, and this is a very good lesson for your eldest daughter to learn, so hopefully it never happens again. Yeah, you are kinda an ass to be honest. My dad was pretty severely disabled when I was a kid, and even though he was honest to God a piece of crap human, I would never even think to deny him the use of the bathroom. When he needed to go, and I would bring him what he needed to do so when he couldn't leave the bed. I know teenagers can be assholes, but there is something seriously wrong here for her to do this to her younger sister. She seriously lacks empathy, and I'm not going to overreach and say that she's a bully, but this is a serious red flag. I would sit your youngest down just to make sure that this isn't a normal occurrence for her, because if it is, there should be definite hell to pay. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Inform your husband. I was making 17-year-old clean up the mess she created. We tell our kids they need to clean up after themselves, and this is one thing she'll have to do if she continues to act this way. Maybe she's finally learned her lesson. Not the asshole. Your eldest child was being spiteful and needs to learn that actions have consequences. You are the asshole, unless the 17-year-old was not remorseful. I wouldn't administer punishment that humiliates both kids. I'd have come up with something that didn't involve the younger siblings' mess, for both of their sakes. I have a teen with sensory issues, so this punishment would have been really over the top, especially if she already felt bad. Not the asshole. The punishment was not cruel. Cruel was making her sister, who couldn't wait, do just that. Nah. You're not an asshole, and I understand the thinking for this punishment, but I don't think this accomplishes the goal you want it to. This will just make older sibling resent younger sibling more, and the behavior will not change. Not to mention, how does the younger sibling feel about this? Is it not more embarrassing for her to have her older sister doing her shitty laundry? If it was just about what led up to the pants soiling, then obviously the elder is the asshole, but since this is about the punishment you gave, I'm sticking with no assholes. Not the asshole, a perfectly justifiable consequence for her actions. I would invest in one of these. Combined with, for emergencies in the future. Your youngest should be required to use a pail, but what if someone else is on the can doing some slow business? Having this as a backup is far better than shitting your pants or just a pail. I use this when I'm up at the cabin. The outhouse is a good 300-meter walk from my cabin, and when it's 10 at night and y'all gotta go, that walk is not a lot of fun. Not the asshole. But this thread, wow. Half of them are ready to lock up your older daughter, the other half to have her committed to a mental institution. Teenagers are dicks. Being around other teens in high school just reinforces the dicketry. Most of them turn out to be reasonable people a few years out from school life. Who else is gonna clean up the poop? The child that was forced to poop themselves? You? No. I have IBS, and if I ended up making a mess because one of my siblings deliberately refused to let me go to the bathroom knowing that it was an emergency, they would be cleaning that crap up. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. I bet she won't torture her sister like that again. Because that's what making your young sister poo herself is, torture. She was unnecessarily cruel, whereas her punishment wasn't. She's not washing things by hand so she can suck it up. Not the asshole. What punishment would your husband suggest? The punishment should fit the crime. Grounding her from gaming for a week has no correlation to what she did. Your older daughter made a choice, and a mean-spirited and cruel one at that, to not let her sister into the bathroom, knowing that this was a possibility. Your younger daughter has a disease in which she probably at times can't control her bodily functions. The result was that she soiled herself, and it was directly tied to your older daughter's actions. What your daughter did was cruel, not your punishment. The punishment was completely in line. Show your husband these comments and maybe he will get an idea of what cruel actually is. So not the asshole, but your husband and older daughter sure are. Not the asshole. Sounds like your daughter got that attitude, behavior from your husband. There is no angle in which dad would not be mad at the oldest for denying the youngest bathroom access. You need to nip this in the bud ASAP. Not the asshole. They literally were asked to use the bathroom and they said no. That is being cruel. Punishment fits the crime. Nah. My suggestion for when this situation occurs again: have an alternate chore the eldest can do. I can 100% understand the discomfort of having to clean after somebody with Crow-S using the bathroom. That not only creates the space for the eldest to be like, to of course. It also could prevent potential guilt in the youngest, which would be unjustified. Please ask if elaborating is needed. As someone who suffers from ulcerative colitis, not the asshole. You can't ask someone with bowel disease to wait. We've not got the bowel control, and being forced into that kind of situation is embarrassing and traumatic to say the least. Not the asshole. I have Crohn's disease, and when you gotta go, you've got to go then and there. Your eldest is old enough to understand this. So I think the punishment fits the crime. Not the asshole. This is a perfectly logical consequence for the actions of the 17-year-old. Her actions caused a mess. The consequences were to clean up the mess. I mean, you didn't make her bathe her 14-yo sister. Obviously, that'd be weird. So the next logical step would be for her to launder the clothes. I think this is a perfectly reasonable expectation every single time she interferes with her sister using the bathroom where it causes an accident, no matter what her reasoning. See how long her interference lasts. There's no excuse for that kind of behavior. There's no excuse for her not getting out of the bathroom at a moment's notice unless she's in the shower or on the toilet herself. Not the asshole. That's not even a punishment, that's just taking care of the consequences. Punishment would be if you made her do the laundry for a made-up amount of time. Still isn't that big of a punishment for what she did and what 14 had to go through. She's 17, she surely has thoughts on moving out. Is she going to throw a tantrum anytime she has to do the laundry? Not the asshole.